Welcome to Sissygram Spicy Story Channel. If you like my voice, then hit the like button and do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Today I come up with whole new content of story. So, now let's start the story. It seemed like an ordinary afternoon, or so I thought. The day was calm, peaceful even as I wrapped up my work and decided to indulge in a long hot bath to unwind. The warm water soothed me, the steam curling around the small bathroom like a cocoon of comfort. Little did I know, within moments, my entire world would be turned upside down. The house was unusually quiet. I could faintly hear the low hum of the television in the next room, where my sister, Maxim's mother, was likely watching her favorite show. My nephew Maxim, who had been staying with me for a few days, was a quiet, obedient child, always well-mannered. Still, there was something about him that unsettled me in a way I couldn't quite explain. I sank deeper into the water, letting the warmth ease the tension in my body, and closed my eyes with a deep sigh. It had been a rough week, and I desperately wanted to forget about everything, even if only for a little while. But just as I began to relax, I heard a soft creak coming from the hallway. At first, I brushed it off as nothing, maybe the house settling or the wind rattling the windows. But then I heard it again, closer this time. A faint, deliberate step, as though someone was stealthily approaching the bathroom. My heart skipped a beat, and I froze, straining to listen. The bathroom door was locked, so no one should have been able to get in. Or was it? The faint sound of footsteps grew louder, followed by the unmistakable noise of the doorknob rattling. My stomach clenched in dread. Who was out there? Was it Maxim? I called his name, but no answer came. Anxiety began to creep in, the water that had felt so comforting moments ago now feeling cold and oppressive. My mind raced with possibilities. Was someone trying to scare me, or was something more sinister going on? Then I heard his voice, Maxim's voice, soft and almost a whisper, calling out to me. "Auntie, are you in there?" His tone sent a chill down my spine. Why was he whispering? I had never heard him sound like that before. I tried to steady myself, forcing calm into my voice. "What is it, Maxim?" I asked, my words trembling slightly. There was a long pause before he answered. I need you." Something about the way he said it made my skin crawl. It didn't sound like an innocent child's request. It felt urgent, almost desperate. Gripping the edge of the bathtub, I took a deep breath and hesitated before speaking again. "Come in," I said, my voice barely audible. The door creaked open, and I turned my head. There he was, small and slight, standing in the doorway. At first glance, he looked like the same sweet boy I'd always known. But then I noticed his eyes. They were darker somehow, holding a strange intensity I couldn't place. My heart began to pound. Was I imagining things, or was something truly off about him? Maxim stepped closer, his expression unreadable, but tinged with something that made my blood run cold. "Auntie," he said softly, his voice low, "I've been waiting for you to notice me." He moved to the edge of the bathtub, his gaze unyielding. "You're always so busy with everything else, but now I need you." The way he spoke sent a sinking feeling through my chest. His words didn't make sense. My nephew had never talked like this before. Fear gnawed at the edges of my mind, but I was paralyzed, unable to act. Maxim reached out, his fingers brushing my shoulder as he leaned closer. His breath was cold against my skin, and an involuntary shiver ran through me. I wanted to pull away, to yell, but I couldn't move. "I've waited so long for this," he murmured, his tone calm yet unnervingly steady. "And now, I let you go. The air around me felt thick, suffocating. I could barely think. Was this truly my nephew? Or had someone, taken his place? My instincts screamed at me to run, to escape, but my body refused to obey. Maxim's hand tightened on my arm, the pressure growing, and I finally found my voice. "Please," I whispered, my tone shaking. "What are you doing? What do you want?" He didn't answer. His dark eyes locked onto mine, unflinching, as though he could see every fear I had. The tension was unbearable, and I felt like I was drowning. I glanced at the edge of the tub, where a small bottle of shampoo rested. Without thinking, I grabbed it and threw it at him, the bottle hitting his chest with a dull thud. The impact made him stumble slightly, breaking his concentration. That brief moment was all I needed, summoning every ounce of strength I had. I scrambled out of the tub, water sloshing everywhere as I grabbed a towel and wrapped it around myself. My legs were weak, shaky, but adrenaline pushed me forward. "Don't run me," Maxim said, his voice now sharper, tinged with anger. He stepped closer, his movements deliberate, his expression unreadable. My mind raced as I tried to figure out my next move. The bathroom door was my only escape, but what would I do if he followed me? I grabbed the shampoo bottle again, clutching it like a weapon. "You're mine now," Maxim said, his voice dropping to a chilling calm. "You've always been mine." I bolted for the door, ignoring the cold air and the towel slipping from my shoulders. My hands fumbled with the lock, and I threw the door open, nearly colliding with my sister. She stared at me, alarmed, but before I could explain, I glanced back toward the bathroom. Maxim was gone. The room was empty, as if nothing had happened. My sister grabbed my shoulders, asking what was wrong, but I couldn't form the words to explain. My heart raced, my body trembling with the memory of what had just occurred. And then I saw him. Out of the corner of my eye, into the dimly lit hallway, Maxim stood in the shadows, his dark eyes glinting as he watched us. His face was blank, yet I could feel his presence, cold, unyielding. I knew then this was far from over. In the days that followed, the house felt different, darker. Maxim's behavior grew more erratic, but no one else seemed to notice. When I tried to tell my sister, she dismissed it as stress. But deep down, I knew the truth. Whatever had taken hold of Maxim wasn't something natural, and it wasn't something I could fight alone. I didn't feel safe anymore, and I had a terrible feeling that soon, no one else would either. This is where the story wraps up. Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon. See you next time.